One of the most anticipated games to come out later this year is Starfield. Both Microsoft and Bethesda need this game to be successful. This is the first new IP Bethesda has created in over 25 years. This game is basically the first big-time Bethesda game to come out since being acquired by Microsoft. The game will release on PC and Xbox on September 6th. It will be a day one release on Game Pass. I truly think the gaming industry needs a highly anticipated AAA game to launch successfully right from the start. So in today's video, I want to talk about what we know so far about the game and give some of my own thoughts on things. I've talked a lot about PlayStation games on the channel, but I did come out with a video on Gears of War recently. I talked about why the franchise is so good and why it's literally one of the best Xbox franchises to ever exist, along Halo, of course. And it got me thinking, when is Xbox going to get a new franchise, or game for that matter, that is going to end up going down as one of the greats? Like honestly, most of the greatest Xbox franchises and games date back to the days of the 360 era, but that's a discussion for another video. So what is Starfield? Well, it is an action RPG set in space. It's basically going to be Space Skyrim, as director Todd Howard calls it. The game is set in an area that is about 50 light years away from our solar system. This area is called the Settled Systems. And the setting of the game takes place 20 years after the Colony War, in which two large factions fought each other, the United Colonies versus the Freestar Collective. Players will be able to assume the role of a customizable character who is a member of the Constellation, which is an organization of space explorers. The game is playable in both first and third person. The game was first announced back in 2018, and we finally got a glimpse of the game last year at the Xbox and Bethesda showcase. So let's talk about what we know so far, and then I will sprinkle in my thoughts. The footage that was shown off gave us a glimpse of a lot of stuff, even if we don't know it all in extreme detail. The gameplay featured a mission on a desolate moon. We saw some combat and it looked okay. I'll be honest, I was not blown away by the shooting or even the look of the game, honestly. It really wasn't the prettiest footage. Even the moon was kind of gray and barren when we were talking about colors and graphics. And I'm not writing the game off because of this stuff, but I don't know if that's the kind of gameplay you want to show off for first impressions. We did see more than just some combat against space bandits. We got a peek at the character creation and the game's skill system. You will choose new skills as you level up, and they will gain additional ranks as they are used, so they will provide even more benefits later on as you play. There is a crafting system that will allow players to modify and customize your weapons. Players have the ability to establish outposts as they explore, and perhaps one of the most exciting features in the game is ship customization. You will be able to customize and fly your own dream ship. You can completely customize the look, the layout, and performance of the ship. What I really like is that the game will provide you with shipbuilding tools that will allow you to place and customize different pieces of the ship, and you can add pieces to your ship from other ship manufacturers. And some of the attributes that will be affected by how you customize the ship include hull, shield, cargo, crew, mobility, top speed, and mass. I like the fact that everything you customize affects both the aesthetics and attributes of your ship. It makes shipbuilding very meaningful. Space combat is confirmed as well, so it will probably be important to watch those stats as you customize. There will also be a similar crafting system for weapons. There was a quick glimpse of in-game crafting mechanics that showed mods that you can research for weapons like a submachine gun, for example, and mods shown off include barrels, grips, optics, and muzzles. Let's move on to character customization. The June 2022 reveal also revealed a lot in this area. Bethesda gave us a look at the character creation process. Some of the features shown off include body shapes and sizes, skin tones, and hairstyles. Nothing was really shown for like specific facial features, but I'm going to assume that there's going to be some customization options that go into greater detail for the face. Players will also choose a background for their character. Backgrounds include combat medic, bouncer, professor, and homesteader. Each of these comes with 3 starting skills like medicine, lasers, persuasion, and bargaining. Now it does have some similar feeling to other Bethesda titles, and then again other skills can be unlocked as you level up, and those skills can be upgraded by completing challenges. Then there are traits, which have been seen in other titles before too. Traits are optional choices for your characters that come with pros and cons. Like Spaced, for example, gives you increased health and endurance while in combat, but it is decreased on the surface. So you can make things even more interesting as you play through the game. There's also optional quests that will help you get rid of these traits if you do grow tired of them. And here's a couple of interesting traits that have already been announced. Dream Home, for example, is where you own a luxurious customizable house on a peaceful planet. However, it does come with a pretty hefty mortgage with the bank and has to be paid weekly. Then you have Hero Worship. You've earned the attention of an annoying, adoring fan who will show up randomly and jabber at you incessantly. On the plus side, he'll give you gifts. And then Kid Stuff. Your parents are alive and well, and you can visit them anytime at home, but 10% of all the money you earn is deducted automatically and sent to them. Some traits will also be based on religions in the game. One of them includes worshipping a space serpent. Another one is called Raised Universal, which is a trait that gives you a discount at the church store, but then you can't use it at the enlightened store. I'm using a lot of quotations here, we have to learn more about these things, but it is piquing my interest so far. There are some confirmed features that we have seen in games like Fallout and Elder Scrolls. These include pickpocketing, lockpicking, a persuasion minigame, recruitable NPCs, joinable factions, and again, the outposts. A few more notes as I wrap up here. There will be romance options, no multiplayer, you're going to be able to visit over 1,000 planets, and the game will be moddable. So this all sounds great, right? We're in that time period where we are waiting to hear more info on a game that is highly anticipated. And of course, there's always this kind of hype for any AAA developer. I just really hope this game releases without being a buggy mess and that it actually fulfills its promises. I am worried this game could be the next Cyberpunk. It's not that I don't trust Bethesda, but the gaming industry as a whole hasn't fulfilled a lot on its promises with games that are supposed to be the greatest of its generation and promise a lot of new things and crazy things. And I guess to be fair, Bethesda is known for having buggy games and also carry on similar traits between titles. And I just mentioned quite a few of those throughout this video. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because Bethesda should include some things that have worked in their other games, but big promises are being made right now. Thousands of planets to explore, tons of ways to customize ships, weapons, and characters. Will these options really truly be cool and unique? Will they truly change the experience you have while playing? Are we really going to visit thousands of planets? You know, I don't usually advocate for games to go the live service route, but I wouldn't mind a realistic main story releasing with the game, and then over time maybe the company creates and releases other parts of the galaxy and other stories to go along with it. I don't want battle passes or anything like that, but what if the game gave us a story that runs, 30 to 40 hours, like the typical runtime, and then over time we get new expansions and other pieces of content. That's what I originally thought the live service model was supposed to be back in like 2018, especially when DICE announced it for Battlefield 5. Where, the live service is adding more content over time, but isn't always asking people to open their wallets. And I know it sounds like I'm being critical, but I'm honestly trying to be skeptical. I got burned big time from Cyberpunk a few years ago. I was so excited for that game, and I bought it on day one, even despite some of the early warning signs. I was a big fan of The Witcher. I'm a big fan of CD Projekt Red. I really did trust them with this game. And I did play that game in its entirety, but I can't say I'm happy that I did. I just really hope Bethesda keeps Cyberpunk in the back of their mind. You don't want to repeat that again. This game's success is very important for not only Bethesda, but I really think Microsoft as well. Xbox really needs a new game that can be a staple for its brand. Bethesda will be hosting a Starfield showcase on June 11th, so we are going to learn more in a few months about this game prior to its September release. And I think this is a game I want to cover on this channel since I am very interested in the game and I will probably be playing it when it comes out. And honestly, this looks like an interesting one to follow. So thanks for checking out the video, everyone. Like and subscribe for more. I'm also on Twitter and TikTok at analyzethis_YT. And hey, let me know your thoughts down below on Starfield. Will you be playing it? Do you like what we've heard so far? And what do you hope to see from this game? Thanks and take care.